Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So this puzzle that I'm looking at has a nice little backstory to it. Uh, I've not seen this setter before, steel wool. It's called James's Swirl, and the reason behind that is I believe steel wool had created a puzzle previously that his grandson, 9 years old, James, solved, and he wanted to be able to create another puzzle. So Steelwool and his grandson collaborated to make this one, and that's what we have here. And apparently it took his grandson about an hour and a half or something to solve this one after it was created. But love to see young kids getting into these sort of things, using their brain power, thinking logically and all that kind of good stuff. So it sounds like a good story, a good puzzle to get into. So that's what we're going to do today. So again, it's James's Swirl by Steel Wool. And like I said, I've not done a puzzle by Steel Wool before, so that's a good thing. Or Steel Wool's grandson. So anyway, let's look at the rules. There's not a lot here. So at least not a lot of rule sets. Not that there's not a lot here. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and 3x3 box contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then we've got German whispers. So green lines are German whispers, where adjacent cells in line must have a difference of at least 5. All of the lines here are German whispers. So whatever this digit is, this one has to be 5 away from it. That's 5 away from that one, and so on and so forth down the line. And then the last rule set here is our Kropki dots. So white dots join two cells that differ by 1. Black dots join two cells with 1 twice the other, or in a 1-to-2 ratio, however you want to say them. So the white dots are consecutive digits, or they are differed by 1, as is stated. And the black dots are in a 1-to-2 ratio, 2-to-1 ratio, or one of them is double the other. That's what that is. And that's it. So those are our rules. No scrolling required, because they are all there, set up and waiting, ready to go for us. So with that said, let's jump into this one, see if we can figure it out. And of course, the link is in the description below. So first thing first, the first thing I realized, or saw, I should say, is that there's a lonely little cell over here that does not, is not part of our German whisper. So it must be a 5. Now, I don't know if that really does much for us, but it's there, so I'm taking it. Because I don't think it correlates into these other regions, really, at the moment, so that's fine. Now, the ultimate goal here is going to be able to start finding where one of these digits on this German whisper starts. So if we can find the low or the high, then we can then correlate that back to the entire line. So how are we going to do that? Let's think about what these can be. And let's map out our coloring first, and then we'll correlate that back. So we know that every other digit along the German whisper must be of one of two things, either high or low. So these are all the same. These are all the same. So there we have that. Now, that stands out quite obvious here. These have to be from different high or low varieties. So we can never have a 1-2 pair. We can never have a 2-4 pair. It's either a 3-6, which is possible. This can't be a 3, though. So this can't. Or sorry, yeah, that can't be a 3 because this can't ever be a 6. We can also, because we have to put 2 1s here, and then this can't ever be an 8 because this can't be a 4 because we have to put 2 9s here. So we've got a little bit of a toe, not a lot though, but what we do know is this is an extreme digit in terms of German whispers. So if this is a 4, this is a 9. If it's a 6, this is a 1. Now, that said, we may need to, because that's not going to get us very far here at the moment, but we might need to start looking at how the shape of this German whisper creates patterns within the puzzle. So as you'll see here, we have all of whatever the blue digit is. We need one more of the purple to go with a 5, That doesn't quite get us there. Here, what do we have? We have 3 of one part, either high or low, and 3 of the other. These guys. There is a little bit here, but I don't know that we can get into it just yet either. Because this one, no, we can actually. This has to have a 5 on it. Because we can't ever have 2 lows or 2 highs on this white Kropki. Because if we did, we would be breaking one of these color groups. So there must be a 5 on this thing. So this is either a 4-5 or a 5-6. That gives us a 4-5-6 triple, which may or may not be of use. And this digit here, so whichever one this is, whether it be high or low, this is the opposite version of it. Okay, now we know one of these is a 5, one of these is a 5. So one of these is a 5. What more do we have in that? The other way to start thinking about this guy is where do we put the other 4-6? And I think that's where we needed to think about. So we obviously can't put 4s or 6s on any of these because we would force 2 1s or 2 9s. So this has to be the other 4-6. So this is a grouping of 1s and 9s. So we have our 4-6 pair, we have our 1-9 pair. Can we correlate that into what some of this other stuff has to be? Because we're going to know there has to be a 2 and a 7 here. And the other digit is either a 3 or an 8. Now, can we put that together? Probably, if we think about how these interactions are going to occur. We know there's a 2 and a 7. If this, okay, so we do know what's going on here, now that I think about it. And this goes back to another puzzle. Think about where 7s can go. If we were to put a 7 here, we would have to put a 1-2 pair here. We cannot do that because the 1 is over here. If we were to put a 7 here, this would have to be a 1-2 pair. We can't do that. So these are not 7s. This is our 7, and it's got to be flanked by a 1 and a 2. And that breaks this open. Now we can get moving. 9, and this has to be our 8, which can sit between a 2 and a 3, which a 7 cannot. Just a little tip for all you out there. Anyway, this 4 forces this to be 9. Now we can really start thinking about this guy, because we know our polarity of everything. So our blues, do I want to change my coloring? Because I usually do certain colors for highs and lows, but I think I'll leave it as is for now. So we know blue is low, so this is either 2 or 4. No, let's just forget that. This is not 6. So this is a 4-5 pair, which means this is 2. This has to be a high digit, so it has to be from the 7, 8, and 9. I'm not going to color a little bit more at the moment because I think this is already a bit garish in terms of what my eyes can see very well. So we actually just know that these are all 7, 8s, or 9s. And what about these guys? We need to have a 1 and a 3. This can't be a 3 because we'd have to put an 8, 9 flanking it. So this is 3. This is 1. These have to be from 6, 7, or 8. This cannot be 6 or 7. It's 8. This is not. Now, this could be 6 or 7 because these could both be 1s. In fact, these both are 1s, but that doesn't tell us this is a 6 necessarily. And the reason why is that no matter if this is a 6 or a 7, if this is a 6, these both have to be 1s. if this is a 7, this has to be from 1s or 2s. Well, 2 can't go here, so this is 1. And again, we can't quite finalize this guy yet, but we're getting there. This guy has to be from 2 or 3 or 4. It cannot be 4 because 4 is a double 9. So we're looking at the 2-3 pair here. Can we... No, we can't. I was going to say, can we determine where a 6 can... Well, we can. None of these can be 6s, now I think about it. This one, because this obviously can't be a 1. This one, because this can't be a 1. So none of these are 6s is all that really says, but it doesn't necessarily tell us the rest of the story. All right, let's think elsewhere then. This guy has to be either 7 or 8. Can't be 7. It's 8. This guy has to be 6 or 9. It can't be 6. It's 9. What else? I'm going back and forth. Let's look at this row for a second. So what's left over? We have the 7 and the 5. Okay, that can't be sorted just yet, but we can keep moving here. Is there anything we can do with this digit or this digit? Not necessarily yet. And I would, yeah, I can talk. I can get the words out of my mouth. I would think that a lot of these Kropkis here, this one helped elsewhere, but are going to start helping us a little bit later once we get a little bit more information in. So let's continue down the road. What can this be? Well, 1, 2, or 3. What can this be? 1, 3, or 4. What can this be? 1, 2, or 3. Not 1, sorry. This guy, 1, 2, or 3. Now, these guys here. Yeah, we can't really get too in-depth with them. We know they're not 6s, so they are 7s and 8s. This could still be a 7, because this could be a 2-1 or a 2-2, so we can't make that determination. This could still be a 7, because this could be a 2-1 or 2-2. Now, this being a 1, 2, 3 forces this... I will color that one real quick. This has to be from 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it can't be 1. That doesn't necessarily get us there. There's probably going to... Well, we'll go through what we have at the moment, and then we'll come back to it. This guy has to be a 9. Okay, so we just have to look at the right places. Can't be 6, can't be 7 or 8. This guy can't be 6 or 9, so it's 7 or 8. And again, it could be either because we have the 1, 2 pair. This guy has to be 6 or 7. It could be either because these could both be 1s. And I was wondering if there was some Sudoku I just hadn't looked at that we could be using here, and it's very possible that it is. Let's just finalize what our coloring for these guys is, at least at the moment, and then go from there. So this has to be 1, 2, or 4, and it can't be 4, obviously, because it can't go 9, 9. This guy has to be 1 or 2. Can't be 3, can't be 4. Okay, so that's our base coloring figured out, at least at the moment. We almost could place a 6 here. This one can't be 6, but one of these two still could be. And we still have to put a 5. Well, okay. We actually do know something here. These have to be a 5, 6 pair. I wouldn't have thought that by looking out, because this can't be 5 or 6. So therefore, there's only 2 places left that 5 and 6 can go, and they are here. So that's going to get us a low digit. This has to be from 2, 3, or 4, because we've already used 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we can put more coloring in. These are both blue. These are both purple. Therefore, these are from 6, 7, and 9. These can't be 6s. That's a 7, 9 pair. This is our 6. Good. Then 5, then 7, then 5. And we are possibly getting somewhere. This is a 7-9 pair, which means one of this digit here has to be able to work with a 7. We can't use a 1. It is a 2, which forces this to be a 1. That removes this from 2-age. And what else do we have? What about these guys? Because I think we might start to get into some of these Kropki dots now. These have to be from 2, 3, and 4. They're all low digits. They can't be 2s. So this is our 2. Good. That forces this not to be a 2, so this is not a 1. That's a 3, 4 pair. We have to put a 1 somewhere up here because we used 2, 3, and 4, and this can't be 1. So one of these is. Obviously, this one can't be. How does this 3, 4 help us? Does it? This could be 6 or 8. So it is a high digit. 3 would have to go with 6. 4 has to go with 8 because it can't go with the 2. So we get 6, 7, 8, almost the remainder. Same with the lows. We don't quite have the remainders to work with here at the moment. Okay. Let's just make sure there's nothing here I'm missing. Oh, there is. That 3 gives us a 4 and a 3. Therefore, this is 6. And what do these have to be? They have to be from 1, 2, and 7. This is not 1. That's fine. As the dog barks outside. I don't think you can hear that, though. So, I'm just trying to see where I need to look for them. Let's look at these guys here again so we can get over to this Kropki dot. So we have to have 4 and 6. Okay, if this is 6, this is 3. If this is 4, this is 2 or 8. That is not determined yet. Okay. Now, we can't really do much more of a coloring, which I will continue on, at least not from the obvious point of view here. Is there some interaction into this Kropki? Or do we need to just look at base Sudoku for a second? Because again, Sudoku can stick its head out and help us when we're not necessarily paying attention to it. Get caught up in the puzzle clues and Sudoku, the base Sudoku can sometimes fall away. Oh, let's think about 3s and 4s. We have one of them here. The other one can't go over here, so it has to be here. This is a 3, 4 pair. Now we have all of the low digits in this region. So these end up, well, there has to be an 8 here, but that's not really of great use. But these are from 5, 6, and 8. And they're not from 6. So there we go. This is 6, and we can put our color in there. Now, okay, again, we had a 7 here. Well, once we got this 3, 4, I could have put this as being a 9 and this being a 7, because that 7 could never go with a 3 or 4. Okay, what do we have up here? We have a low digit plus a 5. So let's put the 5 in. Okay, now we have an X-wing in 5s. We get a 5. Good. Cool. No 5s in any of these, so one of these is 5. That gives us another X-wing in 5s, which we can use here. This is 4 and 5. And I guess we continue coloring. I kind of wish these colors were lighter. I guess we can have some custom colors that I could do that for, just because it wouldn't be quite as obtrusive on my eye. So anyway, that's babbling. This is 3. This is 4. This is 4, so this is 3. Therefore, these are not 3s. And, okay, so these are from 2, 3, and 5. This is not 3. This is not 5, obviously. And what is this? 1, 9. That is correct. Let's put those in. Alrighty. Where are we looking next? That's the question. I guess I could go back to our Sudoku real quick, because I think I did pause it briefly, because I found something that was useful. So one of these is a 2. What more does that do for us? I don't think it really does. And I don't think we have anything on the German whisper line here that's... Yes, we do. That 3 gave us another 8 and 7. Okay, just had to look at it again. And again, 7 can't go with the 3. What else? This can't be 8. This can't be 7. So we get the 8, 9 pair. This is 7. And this one we could have colored in. I'll do that now. Where are we next? That can still be that. That can still be that. That's fine. Fine. Okay. I don't think we can rule these down any further. So let's go back. We keep getting distracted with our Sudoku because it's helping us. So that's a good thing. But just making sure we have everything obvious taken care of. 4s and 6s might be the next place to start looking and try to break this thing down. But we'll get to that in a second. Why did I skip the 5? Because I just said 4s and 6s. That's why. And no, okay. Okay, I'm not quite seeing Sudoku picking anything up for us right now. Oh, yeah, we do. 7. That's one of them. There's a 7. That gives us our 6, which means this is a 1, so this is helping us. Let me color this in real quick, just so we keep up with the trend. This is 8. Hold on. Which one? No, I'm being slow. Good thing I stopped and looked back at that again. I almost made a mistake there. I don't know why I had that weird feeling to look back on that, but I did. So let's keep going. Good. Good, good, good. Hate making mistakes. One of those was a 7. I was going to see if we can get rid of some of these possibilities. But I don't think we can just yet. Let's go back to our 8s. And one of these is an 8. And lastly would be 9s again. So let's just make the last little pass here. One of these is a 9. Okay. Didn't quite help us out. So let's dig into this thing a little bit. 4s. Let's think about our 4s. None of these can be 4s. So we have to put a 4 here. That's something. What else does it do? It means none of these are 4s, so one of these is. Not great. 6s. None of these can be 6s. That's less great. Because this could still be a 6. And these two are just off the grid. Or the German whisper grid is what I'm getting at. And this could be a 6 because this could be a 5 and this could be a 1. And the 5-1 pair wouldn't break anything off the other side. Okay. All right. Where the heck are we? What are we doing? Where is this next place? Is it something obvious, is the question. Did I just miss something? I don't think I have. Oh, wait, we went back to this. I must have gone... I already had this one as a 1, so I don't know. I must have undone a little too much. No, we didn't. No, we did because I thought this was a 7. Duh. Get that out of my head. Okay. Clear in the brain again. One of these is 1. Was there anything in our coloring line that would have helped us, or it could help us at the moment? Three? Where does the 3 go? There we go. This column. I hadn't looked at columns yet. 3s can't go in any of these, so this is a 3. Therefore, with these guys, puts a 3 here. That sets something up. This has to be a 4. This is a 6. That is now a 7. That forces this to be a 7. So let's just make sure I'm right there. Yes. So good thing I went back and checked that, because that would have been wrong. This can't be 7. That 7 does not determine this 1, 2 yet, though. This 4 does not determine this 2, 8 yet. Let's go ahead and get our coloring, just so we keep up with the trend. This is low. Do we have anything else that we can dig into? What's going on with this German Whisper? There has to be something here that I'm just being slow with. It's either 2, 4, or 8. And the 9 is something, at least, because where does the 9 go here? It has to go here. Because that could never be, yeah, okay, so this is 8. That 9 didn't give us much. The 8, did that give us anything? It just forces the 8 down into one of these two. What else we got? Let's look at this German Whisper and see if we can figure it out. If this is a low digit, this would have to be a 9. There's no other way to go about it. If this is a high, it would be 8. This would have to be 1, 2, or 3. None of that actually seems to do much. I was looking back again at the 6s, but we haven't changed that profile yet. Let's go back to columns then, because we got something from one of these other ones. Maybe there's something else in there that I just haven't seen. The 4 does go up here somewhere. So one of these two. The 5 we know is up here. What about our 6? We don't know what's going on with our 6. And that seems to be our key problem here. What about here? The ones in the 2s, we know the 2 is up here. The 1 could be in a couple of places. The 6 is, again, we can't place our 6s. And then 8 we know is down here. So that didn't help us. So these rows and columns aren't seeming to help us at the moment. So what's the obviousness? Because we've done almost all of our German Whisper to the point where we can. Except for this guy. Let's think about its coloring, maybe. These 3 are all the same, whatever they may be. Let's just put colors in it. These 2 are the same, whatever they may be. Let's do red, I guess. Okay, there it was. It was just a coloring exercise. We can't have 2 highs here, so this is low. These are high. Now we can finish this thing. This is not 9. This is, well, these are both highs. So there's 6, 7s, or 9s. This is not 6 or 7, it's 9. This is still either 6 or 7. What is this? We got a 1, 2 pair, so this is either a 3 or a 4. How did I get this down to 1 or 2? I think that's a problem. This could have been a 1, 2, or a 3. Yeah, I think I had a little typo there. Because I was looking at here, if this is a 1, 2 pair, this can't exist. So this has to be from 1 to just 1 or 2. So we get a 1, 2 there. This has to be 3, which makes sense. The 1, 2 here makes sense. Good. Now we know what these two digits are. They have to be 4 and 9. So we can put those in and get rid of these other markings. This is a given digit now of 8, so that forces this to be the 2, the 1, the 2, the 7, and the 1. Let's just finish our coloring since we're here. This is that, these are this, and I think we're caught up for the moment. This must be 7, this must be 6, color. This is 4, color. That forces this to be 4. This is 1, this is 3. This is not, was there anything else looking there? No, not just yet, but we'll get there. So this 6 here forces this to be 5, which means this is 2 and 5. I'll come back to the coloring because I'm moving now and I don't want to slow this down. This has to be 2. This has to be, what, 6? That's accurate. This has to be 1. This is, or these two are from what? 6 and 8. Neither one is currently resolved. Okay, let's think about these guys. Well, actually, this one's just a given, so let's just hit that one. This is 6. That's going to finish that. 8, 6, 5. No, I said 5 and 8. That forces the 5 up here. That forces this to be a 2. Now let's go back and do some coloring. So I think we can do it in kind of a group process. And these are that color. This is a 1, so we'll put it in as colored first and then finalize the puzzle. So this is 9. This is 1. There we go. You solved the puzzle. Solution is correct. So it took a minute. I had to find a couple of things there, but we got through it. Excellent puzzle. James and your grandfather, Steelwool, thank you very much for making this. Hope James continues to want to make puzzles or be involved in puzzles, whether solving or crafting, because I just think it's great exercise to keep the noggin working correctly sometimes. So anyway, I thought it was a great puzzle. I hope you all did as well. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.